territory. Today, a couple of teams getting set to square off in an ACC battle. As we'll see, the Louisville Cardinals taking on the California Golden Bears. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. Will get us underway with the opening kickoff. And he's not going to take a knee. Here he comes. He stopped at the 23, a couple of yards short of where he would have been with a touchback. In the middle, it's King. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down. They had the perfect play to open the drive, and now they'll snap it again from the 38. Looking downfield on first down. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
And the big tight end, a lot of times that's a bigger strike zone, a bigger dude, and you could tell they put the hit on him, and that ball came out, and it came to the turf. Nice job playing physical by this defense.
Wide receiver going in motion. To the air on second down. Quick completion on the out route. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49.
Yeah, and he runs a quick out route, and this is a timing route. Quarterback has to trust him, throw him the football. You can tell they've thrown this a time or two. Nice job, nice success.
Zings it complete to the right. Oh, he's got some space. He's finally stopped and brought down at the 15.
One of the things I love about this running back is his versatility. He's not just good running the football, but he can catch it as well, and he can make things happen with the ball in his hands. Nice job by the quarterback, getting through the progression, getting it out to his guy, and he does the rest, and that generates a huge play.
The Golden Bears getting set on 1st and 10. They're in the red zone, and they'll pass it. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. If the intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
He leaves it with his back. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Now facing a 3rd and long.
Here we go.
From the gun, wants to pass. Snagged out of the air. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down.
Really nice job by the defense there. You're trying to force the quarterback to throw the football in front of you and allow your guys to square up and make a tackle out in space. You got to force the ball carrier to do something special after the catch. Not able to do it there, so really nice tactic by the defense.
Desperately wanted to convert on 4th down, but couldn't do it.
Coaches talk about it all the time. We're going to be aggressive. Well, they were aggressive on that first drive. They go for it on 4th down. No dice. Now you put your defense on the field. I like the aggressiveness, but now you got to deal with some of the consequences.
Throws to the wideout. Put it where only his man could get it and gave him enough room to get the foot down.
I'll tell you, if you're going to throw it to the perimeter of the field against zone coverage, you got to have really good anticipation at quarterback, and you saw it there. He threw that before his guy had even turned around. Accurate throw, they're able to make the play and get the first down.
Hands it off. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
You know, if you want to run the ball up the middle, you're going to have to block that guy. I mean, nobody even touched him, and he slanted right into the backfield, made the tackle for loss.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Right back to it. Slams ahead for a yard out to the 33.
Brought down at the 33-yard line. 3rd down coming.
It'll be 3rd and long. Looking for a man. It's Moss. With the catch, it's Lacey. And boy, is he close to that first down. Maybe just a couple of inches short.
Right there, I think you need a better play call. You got to help your quarterback out a little bit because the throw has got to at least make it to the sticks. On that last play, you're basically trusting the guy to make a few dudes miss in order to go pick up that first down. I think you need to start being a bit more aggressive here when these 3rd downs present themselves.
So in their own territory, on 4th and inches, the offense will stay on the field. Trying to do it on the ground. How about that defense rising up and stopping him short on 4th down?
And this offense chooses to be aggressive. Listen, once you start getting to midfield, you see most offenses be aggressive, and they took their chance, and they failed. Now, early in the game, a chance to create momentum to swing back to the other side of the football field.
Collisions and power on display, and after all of that, just back to the line of scrimmage. Man, oh man, that ball carrier was just shut down.
And I tell you what, they need some push up front too, right? They got to move those defensive linemen out of the way, at least create a hole so your running back has a chance. Not there, he didn't have it.
Some belief in that running game as they pick up 5 to the 35-yard line.
And those plays from a defensive perspective, man, they're just super annoying because now I'm in the worst spot ever. 3rd and manageable. Like, I don't know if you're passing, don't know if you're running. So nice job by this offense keeping this defense off balance and creating a 3rd down opportunity that's in their favor.
And that is just an attitude run, running it right up the middle, right into the teeth of that defense.
And the Golden Bears come to the line with a fresh set of downs.
Trick 9, feet.
The give on the option. Fights off the defender. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be 2nd and just a few breaths away from the first down. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. They'll give it to the back. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
You just need more from your offensive line. 2nd and short like that, you'd love to be able to fire off the ball and pick that up running it. But the defense was able to get penetration. They were able to get a stop. And now you set up 3rd down. And this offensive line is going to have to play a lot better here.
That'll be enough to give them a 1st and goal from the 10.
Yeah, and it's so nice. Don't overthink it, right? Just hand it off, get the first down, new set of downs, let's go.
The Golden Bears look to keep this drive humming. To the air on 1st down. Pocket breaking down. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in.
Well, you're making a positive out of a negative. And that time, quarterback, nice job buying time. He's trying to throw the football downfield. Nothing there. So instead of throwing it away, getting the incomplete, just get what you can get and make this next down more manageable.
Going to work on second down in the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Receiver going for the edge on the jet sweep. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here.
Well, the thing about the jet sweep is oftentimes it gets the defense confused. They can't find the ball, but not that time. Great job of eye discipline defensively, finding who had the ball, and then using their speed to get there to make a nice tackle.
Shotgun snap, wants to throw it on third. Touchdown, Cal! First score of the game goes up. They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. So they covered 42 yards on the drive. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. From inside his own 15, looking for room. Needed just a little more help to turn that into a big return. They'll mark him down at the 29. They'll get this drive started from the 29. On the option. He'll toss him. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
It's a veteran defense. They've seen option before. They were prepared to see it in this game, and you're seeing it on that play right there. Everybody doing a great job with assignment football, staying in their gaps, accounting for anyone who can have the football. They were ready for the pitch guy that time, and they're able to make a quick stop.
Backed up now, here's second and long. To throw, it's Moss. Quickly out to the tight end. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with a first down. That throw and catch a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, David?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open because you got so many...
Breaks into the open. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it first and goal.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. You just got to get him to the ground quickly.
They'll use the running game on first and goal. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. We're through one, and what a back-and-forth battle between these two quarterbacks as we look at the stats. And they've swapped into the field, and we'll get it going in the second. They'll try to open this quarter by sticking it in the end zone here. They go right back to their man on second and goal. He's got it down to the 1-yard line right on the doorstep of pay dirt.
In this offense, you're halfway home. All you got to do is do the same exact thing, Palmer. Fall forward and be physical here.
And that's why they practice these goal line situations, right? It's to step up and be physical in moments like this.
The give to the back. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Cardinals.
Instead of running the traditional option where the running back is the pitch man, nice job by the offense, getting creative, getting a way to get their speedster, a playmaker, a receiver the football in space, and he does the rest.
Extra point here will tie the game. And they did tack on that extra point without any adventure. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And he's not going to take the touchback. Rolling the dice to bring it out in the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Cal gets it back. The sturdy Golden Bear offense on its way to the field. Last drive went for 6. We'll see if they can do it again. Trying to burn this defensive back. He's got it along the sideline. Off and running. He's at the 10. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Golden Bears!
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Let's see what he can get done from inside his own 15. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Louisville has it back, and the offense coming out ready to attack. They find themselves trailing by a touchdown and a chance on this drive to even the score. RPO complete to open the drive. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Looking downfield, it's Moss. Throws to the tight end. Grabbed in the middle. It's Skinner. He'll move it up to the 37-yard line, and it'll be a first down.
A nice catch by the big target. Those big tight ends, you could tell in football, are just becoming more and more of a weapon on every single team.
They gave themselves room to operate with that first play. Now first down from the 37. Defense might bring the house here. He hurls one deep down the left side. And that one's incomplete. We're taking a shot there, but couldn't hook up.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
Right back up top on 2nd and 10. Going back to the well, another deep ball. And they can't hook up. Going for the big play on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down.
And there's an example of what happens when the quarterback doesn't have a chance to set his feet. The pressure just forced him to have to work off schedule a little bit. And I think because of that, wasn't able to be as accurate as he wanted to be.
Lost to throw again. Rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29.
And those outside linebackers nowadays, they're so fast. They got to cover ground. You can blitz them off the edge, and they can get after quarterbacks. Versatile. That's why they're getting drafted so high in the NFL and getting paid all that money.
Everybody stays in their lanes well enough, and they stop him at the 31-yard line. The Cal offense is headed back onto the field. They torched this defense with an explosive passing play for a score last time out. Let's see if they go right back at him. It's complete to the left. They get him at the 42, but he picked up 10 there.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make...
Turning it on! Inside the 30. Inside the... And he slipped through the crowd and he'll house it. Touchdown, Cal!
Man, I am a great play caller when I can hand it to guys like that. And he can go that far to the house, create big plays, showed you a little bit of vision, showed you a little bit of burners. When he kicked it in gear, he got the long touchdown.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. From inside the 15, chance for a good return. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. The Louisville offense is headed back out on the field. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with, running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
The Cardinals come to the line on third down, trying to keep this drive alive. Looking downfield, it's Moss. Fires to the wideout. Snagged in the middle, it's Golden. And perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle as they get him down at the 37.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them. And the Cardinals have it with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. Got the first down and more. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22.
First down, physicality wins football games. Being able to run the football and create balance. And right here, just choose up another first down. Gives you another chance to maybe continue to run the football.
And I feel like this guy, too, is just an explosive play waiting to happen. His vision, his quickness, and he's got a burst. If you give this guy just a crease, he's going to hit it. And right now, he's doing some damage on this defense.
Lost yardage on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. The corners are walked up tight. The safe call on the wide receiver screen. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab.
On the screen, a pickup of 8. It's 3rd down.
The Cardinals are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Trying to get the edge on the toss. Got some room headed to the goal line. And he'll finish the run in the end zone. Touchdown, Louisville!
In the end zone.
And the offense finds a way to cut into this lead, but they still have plenty of work to do.
They do, but that's a big score. You don't want to get late and start getting in the second half where you're fighting to come back by so many points. So great job getting points, get that momentum back on your side so you can come out and do some good things when you get the ball next time.
And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. They put together a 74-yard touchdown drive, and they finished it off with a 14-yard run for the score. So after getting into the end zone on that last drive, they're set to kick it away. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, that they get him on the ground at the 20. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. They'll try the run. Stopped at the 25 after a 5-yard gain.
It's going to be important this offensive line is able to get a little bit of push. Just got to give this guy an inch, a little crease, and he can make yards for it.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. The pull and throw off the RPO. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
No, and a great job by the defense seeing it right away, reacting to the screen, going and getting the football, and getting the fast playmaker on the ground.
On the move. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. They'll snap this one from the 32. It's first down. Looking to throw on first down. Pressure coming. Here comes the rush, and they've got him wrapped up at the 28. A first down sack can wreck a drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. Looking to fire. Picked off. What a play to set him up. Made the play on the pick, was hoping to make one on the return. He'll have to settle for letting the offense pay it off from the 26.
And what a great job by the defense that time. Cover one, man coverage. And did you see how everybody was impressed? When you press receivers, you disrupt their timing. You get your hands on them at the line of scrimmage. You jam them. And it completely disrupts the quarterback and his thought process. And that time, that was a big reason that ball got INT.
Back to pass, it's Moss. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
Give to Brown. They'll give him 4 on that one. It's 3rd and 6.
Picks up 4. 3rd down coming.
Trying to pick up a first down. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. They'll try to get something out of this drive and kick the field goal here on 4th down. Visualizing the right ball flight from 39 yards out in the right hash. And it slips just inside that right upright. That'll bring him to within 4.
And that's a really good response by this defense. Their offense throws an interception, puts them in bad field position. They respond with a stop, force a field goal. Yeah, they got 3 points, but great job by this defense.
And he's coming out of the end zone. And the returner will be brought down. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. The give to the tailback. And the defense snows him under after a very short gain.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Got 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7.
Here we go.
Might as well stick with him. There he goes. And that tackle almost certainly saved a touchdown after he ripped off a huge gain. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout called. And the Golden Bears, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. Give to the running back. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6. They'll try to snap it quickly. Linebackers moving, trying to confuse the quarterback. Motion from the wide receiver. Breaking out the jet sweep. And this one will be stopped for no gain. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. From the gun, the running back looking for room. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Never a doubt. The lead now up to 7 at 24-17.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
From inside his own 15, let's see how far he can get. And they'll bring him down to get the offense started on the next drive. One more play before the teams head to the locker rooms. Brown has it. And they'll just play it safe with the run right back to the line of scrimmage, and we are at halftime. And that'll bring us to the end of the first half as we head to the studio for halftime. The Golden Bears will kick it off to start the second half. From inside the 15, here's the return. Buys just enough space to cross the 25. Let's mark it at the 27-yard line. Louisville has it back, and the offense coming out ready to attack. They got a lot done through the air in the first half, and they might need even more production here in the second.
I think they will, Reese, and I think this is an offense that has proven they're playing with good timing right now. They've got some matchups where they're winning one-on-one, and they're just going to have to keep going back to the well, David, and relying on hitting some explosive plays to win this game.
Yeah, and I think we look at numbers naturally, and they're losing. So that's the most important thing on the scoreboard, but they have had success. And so what do? You keep playing pitch and catch. You got to score, but you got to talk to your defense. I need some stops. I need the football back quickly so we can do some more damage.
The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
They're trying to throw the screen out to the receiver. The defense, though, having none of that. They are just too physical. They're too fast, and they force a negative play.
Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's 3rd and long. Back to pass, it's Moss. Under fire. Oh, it's picked off. That's not the start they hoped for. Looking for more room. Inside the touchdown, Golden Bear. This defense making a big play and putting it in the end zone.
How about a game-changing play for this defense? Stepping in front of the football and knowing what to do with it, taking it all the way to the end zone.
And he tags on the extra point. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. He'll bring it back from inside the 15. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Will have to use its first timeout of the half. Handoff from the gun. Into a mass of giant bodies. We'll call it a 1-yard gain to the 24.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the first half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air.
And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
How about the strong safety on that blitz? Great job timing it and also getting to the quarterback. Sometimes you're going to have to negotiate around tight ends and running backs, and that strong safety, he just beelined into the backfield.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. He's got it. He got a foot down along that left sideline. You know what it takes to make a throw like that.
And this offense showing off the explosiveness, the big play down the field. This is so big because what it makes defenses do to react now. Now you scare them. Now you make them drop back a little bit. So that big passing play opens up this whole offense.
They had this offense backed up. Now they have to be staggering. Can they deliver another punch on 1st and 10 from inside the 40? Got it inside the 30 before he's finally pulled down at the 25. It's a gain of 6. And the Cardinals with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Now the play fake. He'll get rid of it. Find space on the right. The tackle is made, but he's got it 1st and goal from the 6.
When you're throwing these comeback routes, man, the timing has got to be so good between the two of them because you know the ball is going to be in the air a long time. You can't throw it late. It's going to get picked. That time, really nice job getting it out early, and the receiver doing a nice job on his route so that the ball was right on him as soon as he turned around.
He wants it all. And he can't quite make the connection as he was trying to pay off this red zone opportunity.
And that's a good job by this defense, man. You drop back, you play really smart, play sound. Understand, there's not a lot of field to cover, and they couldn't fit the ball in a window. Good pass defense.
Dropping back, it's Moss. Here's the pressure. And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line.
I love the discipline of this defense. Not just playing run, right? They know it could be a pass in this situation. Pinning their ears back, getting to the quarterback, taking away all that small stuff. All the stuff, the easy access, the free release. Nice job and nice discipline by this defense.
And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again.
I think you've seen 2 plays back-to-back now with poor pass protection. Guys have to do a better job. You've got a golden chance here to put a touchdown on the board. In 2 consecutive plays, they can't protect the QB.
It's good. Now the lead is down to 11.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trotting him out there.
Cal gets it back. The sturdy Golden Bear offense on its way to the field. They kicked a field goal on the last drive, Jesse. They've got the lead. Don't make a dumb mistake, but maintain your aggressive play call.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's the play caller right now just taking a look at that script he's got in front of him and finding out where are my playmakers, who can we take advantage of on this defense to get a touchdown here, David.
Yeah, and just keep moving the ball down the field. Just execute a little bit better in the red zone. There's no need to panic. We're moving the football, and we got the lead.
Well, they're trying to get the big fella the football in the passing game, but they haven't been able to do that yet. He is a really nice target with his size and his athleticism, but him and the QB, they just don't seem to be on the same page right now.
Fires to the right. How about a little rhythm that you can tap your toe to on that throw and catch for the first down?
It's a nice play call there. You've got 2-possession lead. You're trying to keep the defense guessing, right? Because you've got that lead, they know you're going to run it, but you still have got to be able to sprinkle in some shot plays and some vertical throws. That was really, really good thinking on that last play call by the offense.
And the Golden Bears will line it up on 1st and 10. The give to the back. Knocked down in the backfield, and boy, this guy's had a good day, but they finally get to him on that run.
That's how you come up and make plays as a defense, man. Playing physical, playing downhill. They've given up some plays today, man. He's got over 100 yards on the day. He's really had some success, but on that play, really downhill, really physical, and a nice job getting him to the ground.
The Golden Bears now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Rushes on him. And the defense, they've got him at the 27.
Man, that's a great example of KYP. Know your personnel. A QB that doesn't run great, trying to get outside the pocket. Nice job by the defense applying pressure and running him down and getting the huge loss.
Intercepted, and the defense has set him up. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
And you don't see this very often, the big defensive linemen. You see these guys rush the quarterback most of the time, but how confusing is it, Palmer, when it looks like they're rushing, they drop in coverage and make the big interception?
Well, I don't think that quarterback thought he could even make the play. How about the eye-hand coordination and his ability to snatch the football out of the air? I mean, that was crazy athleticism, well-deserved. That's going to make the highlight reel for sure.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
Dropping back, it's Moss. It's on target and complete. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down.
Well, this offense knew coming into this game they wanted to try to attack the middle of the field in the passing game, and they're able to execute the in route there.
Looking to throw on first down. Quickly complete. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one.
I love the anticipation on that throw by the QB on the out route. You got to throw it before the receiver comes out of his break. Nice work.
From the gun, the ground game. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
And that's how you respond as a defense, man. You give up 9 yards on first down. Second down, man, they bring some pressure. They are in the backfield fast, and they make the tackle for a loss and completely flip the script, almost a guaranteed first down on second down, and now maybe even put them in a passing situation on third down.
And from this angle, I don't think he got the first down. The defense won at the line of scrimmage.
Well, the defense got the stop there on 3rd and 1. Let's see if they can do it again here on 4th and inches then.
I just got to find a way to fall forward, be physical. We work on this all week. You know you're going for it on 4th down.
I love the play call there on 4th and short, because even if you don't get it, the opponent now has to march the entire length of the field. But because you did, you've now got a fresh set, and offensively, you've got to pay this off now. You've got to score a touchdown.
They've been running it, but now the pass. He was open, he had it, and he dropped it. Would have been a touchdown. Instead, it's second down.
And this is the part of the field, man, you really got to have a plan, because these windows get smaller and you're trying to fit that ball into the end zone. It's difficult to do. Quarterback, receivers, they got to be on the same page.
And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and third down is coming.
Second and goal, no dice for this offense. If I'm on offense right now, I'm thinking about who are my mismatches? Who are my big bodies out wide that I can throw them the football and they can make a play over top of somebody?
Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a third down stop.
Man, that's a really good job by the defense, because when you get in that third and medium area, listen, you got to be worried about the run and the pass. Did a good job playing both, got it stopped, now forcing a 4th down.
And this defense has a chance to make a big stop on 4th and goal from the 4. To the air, it's Moss. Fires to the end zone. It's dropped, and oh, what a tough way to end this drive. And they are stopped on 4th down. That decision will be questioned. And the Golden Bears backed up deep in their own end, trying to create a little space on first down. And that will be incomplete. Man, that would have been a big hitter if they could have done it, but second down coming.
Well, I always say this, when you're backed up on offense, those are some of the best opportunities to take deep shots. In all likelihood, the defense is expecting run. You're going to try and buy yourself a little bit of real estate, so they're playing press man coverage, and that's when you want to take advantage of that coverage. But the defense doing a really good job on the back end that time, being in position, forcing the incomplete.
As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. On 3rd and long, trying to convert through the air. And it's incomplete despite some serious arm strength shown there. The Golden Bears will bring the punt team onto the field. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. He gets it away from his own end zone. That'll bounce out of bounds, and they'll have it in plus territory at the 45. Big catches, big plays, tons of yards through 3 quarters for these two guys. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the 4th. They'll go back to work with a first down in the final period. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page.
On the set. Here we go.
To the air, it's Moss. Intercepted, and that is the last thing they needed. Trying to take it back. He's at the 10. Touchdown, Cal. The defense does the work itself with a pick 6.
impressed with the defense here. Late in the game, still firing off the ball and still making plays. What a great job. Not just picking it off, but taking it all the way back to the house. That pads their lead, and that should do it. You think that should do it now to get the win.
Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. He'll take the return and try to improve the field position. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The Louisville offense is headed back out on the field. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick six, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously, the defense.
He's loose on the right. He's in open space downfield. A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the first down.
A lot of times when you go to the stat sheet after the game, defenses are going to look at explosive plays. Like, we're taught to be top down, stay deep, don't give up those big plays, make them earn it all the way down the field. Bad job giving up the big play in the passing game.
From the red zone, looking for a man. Falls incomplete, and he did everything perfectly except catch the football. Second down coming.
Well, this guy must feel like he's run into a buzzsaw in this game. He has been under duress all game long, and that's a big reason why he's thrown multiple interceptions in the game, too. Nothing coming easy to him. It's hard to see the field when your internal clock is going off so fast because of the pressure of this defense, and that's why they find themselves down by so much here in the fourth.
Grabbed behind the line. It's Lacey.
How about the job and recognition by the defense? They knew exactly what they were trying to set up, and they had multiple defenders surrounding that intended target so that there was nowhere for him to go once he caught the ball.
They've got to come up with a big play on this third and long. Looking to pass. It's Moss. Unloads to the wideout. It's caught. He gets it oh so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. Needs it to keep this drive alive. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs.
Low man wins. Defense that time on fourth down was expecting run, and you saw at the point of attack how they just dominated. There was nowhere for that guy to go. Defense wins the down. They give it back up now to their offense.
And when you're down later in the football game, you got to start taking some chances, and that was a beautiful run blitz. Great job playing the probability, understanding it might be a run to run some clock, and they guess right, and they make a big play for this defense.
Didn't find much room. He'll pick up a couple out to the 5.
Pickup of 6. Brings up third down.
And now on third down, shadow of their own goalpost, needing some breathing room. Rides the back on the option, the give. Oh, he's got some space. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one. And the Golden Bears will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Solid punt, headed toward the sideline, trying to make it tough to return. And no shot at a return here as the punt flies out of bounds. Louisville has it back, and the offense coming out ready to attack. These last couple of drives, Jesse, have been about the defense making clutch stand.
I think for this offense, they can stay aggressive knowing that their defense is going to bail them out time and time again here.
Yeah, and especially when you go for those fourth down situations, you do that a lot of times because you know your defense can make stands, make stops. They did on that last possession for you.
Just inside the 35, 1st and 10 from the 34. Linebacker shuffling around, trying to keep the quarterback from getting a read. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
It's a nice adjustment by the defense here. With a big lead in the game, you're putting extra DBs on the field, knowing the offense has to throw to get back in this one in the fourth quarter. So your best cover guys on the field, and they force an incompletion on the last one.
Now facing a 3rd and long. To the air, it's Moss. Here's a heat. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on.
You know, it's one thing to take shots early in the game when the defense may not be expecting it, but at this point, fourth quarter, you're trailing by a lot. They know you're going to do it, and the defense was expecting that one. Great job in the back end.
Down by multiple possessions, you can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. Oh, he's going to take a shot at the DB. And it's knocked away, and they don't convert on 4th down.
I think that play right there has been a big theme in this game. When it matters the most, on big-time down and distances, this defense has been able to step up and make the play when they need it most. That 4th down, great job in the back end in coverage, forcing the incompletion with a big lead now, creating a turnover on downs.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Motion from the wideout. They'll run it, trying to drain time off the clock. Ball by himself down the middle. The 20. He's at the 10. Touchdown, Golden Bears! And the stomping has commenced.
And to have a rushing touchdown of that type of yardage, you've got to be able to make something miss. It's one thing to get into the second level, but can you make that last defender miss? And you saw it on that play. Once he was in the clear with his speed, he was gone.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. From inside the 10, here he comes. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Louisville offense is headed back out on the field. That last drive was promising at times, but stalled out, and they breaks into the open. And he's got enough for the first down. They'll mark it at the 34.
Well, it's a good time to mix in the run play. You're down, it's late in the fourth quarter right now, and everyone's expecting you to throw, so not a lot of defenders in the box. So that's a great situation to try to run the ball.
The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
He was not fooled on that one. You know, a lot of times you want to buy space, and you throw this route really when it's off coverage. But you could tell the cornerback was up, ready to come, pounce on that screen, and get the tackle for a loss.
This time he'll be stopped behind the line, and they'll pretty much give back what they just gained.
You know, when you're running counter, those offensive linemen crashing down, they've got to be able to pin those interior D linemen. They couldn't get it done there. They gave up too much penetration, and that led to the tackle for loss.
It'll take some work to get to the sticks. It's 3rd and long from the 30. Looking to throw, it's Moss. Under fire. And the 3rd down pass is knocked away by the D.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room that people aren't going to like, but hopefully you can learn from it and do better next time.
He's taking a deep shot late in the game. Makes a catch, first down and maybe a lot more.
Hey, man, that was just perfect execution offensively. On a fourth down like that, if you're going to throw a completion, get the first and keep the drive alive, QB's got to be great with his eyes. He's got to throw it on time. His target has to be in the perfect place at the perfect time, and you got to be able to haul it in. They checked all the boxes on that fourth down.
The Cardinals will try to put one on the board on 1st and goal. Got the quick pass. Tight end trying to get in. Touchdown Cardinals! And they take it in for 6 more points.
And this QB's starting to do some work, man. The big explosive play in the passing game. You get inside the 10, you're thinking run. Everybody thinking run. You back it up with another pass, another great throw, and quickly this offense gets right to the end zone.
Try to barge their way in. He's not going to make it in, and the decision to go for 2 does not work out. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. He'll start the return inside his 5. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. The inside handoff. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
Really nice job to squirt his way up to the 31-yard line.
And I tell you what, it's really nice at this point in the game if you can lean on your run game. When you have the lead, you've got the football late in the game, you can chew that clock and start to really make that defense have a little bit of panic.